Ukraine's President Zelensky just got done trolling Trump and his MAGA minions while attending the NATO summit. And naturally, it went right over the heads of the mainstream media. Trump, Vance, and MAGA world are learning the hard way that if there's one group of people you should not mess with, especially ambush style, it's comedians. They're smart, they're calculating, and they know timing better than anyone. Not to mention, they will ruminate on a gag forever and wait for as long as it takes to achieve maximum effect. So what did Trump and his woefully inept team of cotton candy vendors overlook when they decided to ambush Zelensky? That his former job was being a comedian, and now he's making them pay. And naturally, Vance thought he was the smartest man in the room. He was wrong. Nothing new there. And one of the reasons Vance thought he was so smart is that he let Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend go first with the ambush. And the right-wing media poser thought he would obliterate Zelensky's stature by asking the question heard round the world.
Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting the dignity of this office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something
like yours.
Yes. That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know. Yeah. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than
So the first thing you'll notice is that Vance thought it was the funniest put down he's ever heard. The second thing you should notice is that Zelensky came right back at bad boy Brian Glenn with his own put downs. Glenn was too stupid to notice he was being put down. And then, of course, came the totally prepared ambush.
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to...
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories.
And the best part of all of it was that Vance thought he was so smart here. But whoops, Zelensky asked him, "Have you ever even been to Ukraine?" And Vance has to say, "No, but I saw it on television." He fumbled so badly that Trump had to step in and deliver his famous no cards line.
And he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the
the
cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
Only what we all know now is that Zelensky was holding the cards. He was holding plenty of cards because less than 3 months after this ambush, Ukraine launched Operation Spiderweb, where they took out over 40 Russian fighters and probably their last AWACS plane in a daring, coordinated drone attack that caught everybody by surprise. None more than Putin and Russia. And all anyone could ask is, who's holding the cards now, Generalissimo Bone Spurs? So is it any surprise that Zelensky would want to troll Trump and his MAGA machine at a NATO summit in the Netherlands? And leave it to the professional comedian to do it in a way that was so subtle and yet so cutting that it went over the heads of the mainstream media. But not MAGA world. Watch as Zelensky arrives at the formal dinner at the NATO summit.
Good evening.
Given the Italian sense of humor, I would not be surprised if that suit was donated by Armani 2 weeks after the White House ambush. And as you can imagine, MAGA world knows they were being trolled. One maggot posted, "Where's his tin cup?" While another posted, "Ha ha ha, he was being bullied into dressing like an adult." Meanwhile, what everyone else noticed is that suit or no suit, Zelensky is 10 times the leader Trump is, with more brains, more courage, more diplomatic skill, and more vision. Not to mention more ability to wear a suit than the orange blob from Queens ever could, let alone pull off wearing a black one like that. By any measure, Zelensky, the former comedian, is a world statesman, while Trump, the wannabe dictator, is just a clown. But nobody's laughing. Reporting from Rome, the world capital of men's suits, I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.